Hi everyone, it's Armando Cardoso. I'm the owner of Vintage Mío Records, a small brick and mortar shop located in the heart of Waco, Texas. In most recent weeks, we've interviewed talented musicians who have performed in front of millions of people, both in person and or national TV. Well, today I'm excited about highlighting today's interview. Today's episode involves two Baylor students, one of which is a mathematician and the other one is a lieutenant in the Air Force. They both came into the record store last year and they shared with me their passion for music. It was friendship at first sight. Apart from being incredible and talented artists, they also shared their journeys as aspiring artists while trying to fit their music with studies and personal work life. But the most astonishing part of their effort to come up with funds was how they came up to fundraise this project. They picked up records for the record store, Vintage Mío, in exchange for partial funding for the project. Their effort to me was truly inspiring. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you SUNNN.
Hi, I'm Matthew.
Hi, I'm Chloe and we're SUNNN. We're a local Waco band here in Texas and we've been a band for about 3 years now. We started the band together our freshman year and the way it started was Matthew was playing guitar on the steps of the Honors College at Baylor University and I walked up to him and I said, "Hey, do you want to form an alliance with me?" And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "I want to start a band here. Like, do you want to be in my band?" And he was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So we did it together. Is there something that you're waiting for? Did you wonder why he said no more? Can you whisper all your love to him again? Maybe you can just pretend.
I've been playing guitar now for about 7 to 8 years. I've always been into music. My parents started me off on piano when I was 5, and then I joined the percussion and band in middle school. And then about like seventh to 8th grade, I was listening to Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses, and I was like, oh, I have to play something like that. Like I need to get to an electric guitar. And so my dad had an old guitar just like in the attic that we didn't use, and I kind of started messing around with it. And then I just started learning, watching YouTube videos, and then I started a band in high school, and then we started the band here. And so yeah, I've just been playing guitar ever since.
I've been singing pretty much my whole life. There's this story of when I was like 2 or 3 years old and we went on a little cruise and there was a band playing on the stage and my parents turned around for like 2 seconds and I ran away and I ran onto the stage and I took the mic from the singer and I was like, I'm gonna sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And so I did that on the cruise ship and that's just kind of always been me. So now we have the band. So for those who don't know us, we have a weird genre. We're not like other bands. We like to consider ourselves kind of a classic rock inspired indie band. We draw a lot of our inspiration from bands from the 70s to the 90s, maybe even the 60s to the 90s.
Yeah.
A couple examples are Amy Winehouse or Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac. And I've really just kind of taken inspiration from them and run with it.
My biggest inspirations are definitely Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimmy Page, Santana. So all different like flares of guitar players. Definitely like blues based though. That's always been like my bread and butter.
And so we kind of have this weird meshing of different genres that we've kind of created into our own SUNNN sound. And there's so much variation even within our debut album and our EPs that we've put out. You want to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Chloe said it, like we kind of have a lot of like diverse sounds on our album. But yeah, I think at its core, it's like a classic rock, like indie rock inspired. And yeah, pretty much kind of the progression to the album was just songs we have written throughout our time at Baylor. I mean, some of them were literally from like our freshman year that we wrote them, but they didn't make the album until now. And we just spent a lot of time developing them, kind of like rewriting them, having different sounds, maybe a different like guitar rhythm for them. And yeah, it took a while, but we sort of picked up this past summer, where we were like, we got to get this album done. Like, we have to release something. So yeah, we just spent a ton of time recording it. And then yeah, I think we kind of like narrowed it down to the songs we wanted. And some songs are just like little instrumentals that I did like really fast. But we had an idea in mind the whole time of like how we wanted it. And yeah.
Yeah, also lots of these songs have been actually released before by us, and then we've taken them down and reworked them and redone them. We always want to put, you know, our best foot forward and put forth a project and a product that we're really proud of. And so a lot of these songs, like he said, are from our freshman year that have been remolded and reshaped into what you can hear today on our debut album. But I do think it's important that we are kind of just playing and writing what is coming to us authentically and from the heart. And so we're not really restricted by any one genre or any one type of sound that we're trying to conform to. Rather, we're just writing what comes to us, and then we're grouping them together, what sounds similar. And so our debut album is actually grouped based on vibe, quite literally. We are super humbled and excited to announce the debut of Manifestation is Real, our album that we have gotten pressed on vinyl. And what are you holding, Matthew?
This is one of our first test presses. So we just got them recently, and we listened to them, make sure they sounded good.
They sound great, and we're super excited. We've bought 250 of these. They're going to be sold exclusively through our website, online, and through local record stores. And so
we got
cool.
Yeah, we got like the more expensive kind, better designs. Like it's not just
They're
your standard
180 gram top shelf, cool color variation. They're going to be clear 180 gram vinyl with a sunburst of yellows and oranges and reds in the center. And it's going to be indicative of our art and our vibe and the image we're trying to go for. So how many vinyl can you say that you have that look like that?
Close it safe and lock up all your promises, 'cause you, babe, are gonna have to go to work. Close your eyes and feel the shallow winds, and think of him and think of all he's worth.
Yeah, so far, I've been really happy because our song Just Pretend has done really well. Right now on Spotify, it has like over 30,000 streams. And yeah, that one, it was our first single that we released, and we put a ton of time into it. I remember just like, I was going crazy trying to like perfect it. And it was honestly like a great learning experience because I learned like just so much about like mixing and like how to write a song. And yeah, I've always been so happy that it's done well. And still to this day, it's still like doing a lot of streams. And like a lot of our monthly listeners come from that. So yeah, we're trying to continue that.
Yeah, we're super grateful for all of the support and love that Just Pretend has gotten. That's a song that Matthew wrote two and a half years ago, and it's doing the best out of all of our songs right now. We get the most listeners from it, and we're super grateful for that.
We've tried to perform pretty consistently throughout our time at Baylor, so most of the time it's been like once a month at least, right?
Yeah, we try to play a couple shows on the weekends in a month, and then most of our shows are concentrated towards when we're here for the semester as opposed to the summer or the winter. So a couple times, every couple of weeks, we'll have a show or two, and they have a weird tendency of all stacking around the same time. So we'll play 2-3 shows back to back, and then we'll have a week or two of a break, and then we'll have another 2-3 shows. And that's how it goes. And I guess some of the biggest places we've played are probably, we've played a couple shows at Magnolia Network, the Silos. We've played there 3 times. We love playing at Freight Bar. It's always packed on the weekend, so that's always a joy for us.
Yeah, one of our biggest shows was they have this Thanksgiving celebration on Baylor's campus, and so it's literally for like the whole university to show up and just eat and listen to music.
It's called All University Thanksgiving. We've also
Yeah.
played All University Haunt, which is around Halloween time. We've played their Spring Jubilee. A couple other shows we've done are for a cause. So we opened for Rip Momney, the girl put your records on, dude, who was super viral in like 2021. We opened for him for Tri Delta here at Baylor for the St. Jude's concert. We opened for Mark Ambor for
Block party,
For
AKO block party.
AKO's block party. We also set up our own show for a cause here on National Food Bank Day, where we did a house show and we had a bunch of people come, and one of our favorite bands from Austin, Hanover, also made the drive to come play with us. And it was just in the backyard, and we raised over 70 cans, almost 100 honestly,
Yeah,
cans of food that we ended up donating to the local food bank. And just finding small ways to give back.
yeah.
That's what we've really enjoyed doing here in Nico. So some of the struggles of starting and maintaining a band are, of course, balancing it with our schoolwork. Both Matthew and I are seniors now at Baylor University, and we're both in difficult majors. I'll let Matthew speak to his in a second, but I personally switched from biochemistry pre-med to geosciences, and I have an aerospace studies minor, and I'm in the Air Force. So balancing ROTC with the band, with schoolwork and the honors college, those are all pretty busy things for us to do. And then, of course, finding, drummers, bassists, people to play with us live, scheduling time in our schedules to go into the studio and record and practice for live shows, and live shows taking up our weekends, and having to cold call and reach out to a lot of people saying, hey, we're SUNNN, we're a new band, can you please let us play? I promise we'll be good. Things like that are all struggles that people don't really think about, from everything from like running our Instagram to the website to, connecting Instagram to Facebook. It's all the small things that matter so much. Starting our TikToks, balancing that with school is just a huge overtaking, but it's all worth it in the end because we're doing what we love.
Yeah, I think kind of the hardest part is finding that balance. It is kind of like a full-time job. I don't think you can just like do music on the side when you're trying to do it like us, like when we have shows we want to play, music we want to record. And for me, since I do a lot of like the mixing and mastering and the producing and recording the stuff, yeah, it takes a lot of times, and like it takes up a lot of time. And I've been at the studio for like 8-10 hours before, literally just like trying to make sure something sounds just right, or like I get the right take on guitar. And yeah, it's a lot of time, but it's like what we love doing. So I think, it's something we enjoy. So it doesn't feel like it's like work to us. Like we like doing it.
We spend a lot of time together in the band. I would say we argue somewhat often, and that comes with having two strong personalities that Matthew and I have. But at the end of the day, we share a common love for the project, and we like to try and be objective. Wait, no, objective or subjective? Anyways,
One of them.
we try to do what's going to be the best for the project at the end of the day. And so, we
Yeah.
had some super late hours, like in the studio for 8-10 hours, 2 a.m. You tend to get a little crabby, but we're working towards a common goal.
Woke up in the middle of the night. Had a feeling that you just weren't right. Worried that you caught the blues. Now you think there's no more to lose. I don't want you to say you're still having pain. Wipe those tears away. Why does it happen every day? Why does it happen every day? don't feel like you haven't got a clue. Dancing through the sound of pain is nothing on you. Worried that you caught the blues. Now you think there's no more to lose. I don't want you to say you're still loving in pain. Wipe those tears away. Why does it happen every day? Why does it happen every day? And I was like, all right, guys. I talked to him. I was like, you're not listening to me. You never listen to me. It's not working out. And you know what? I didn't really feel like he was talking to me back. I don't think he was listening. And I said to him, I mean, come on, man. It's almost like you never even really cared. But I digress. Shall we? I don't want you to say you're still having pain. Wipe those tears away. Why does it happen every day? Why does it happen every day? We hope you liked our couple of songs. You can find our debut album and the songs you just heard out on all streaming platforms. All you have to do is look up SUNNN, SUNNN, like the sun in the sky, but with 3 N's, because we're not like other bands.
Thank you again for watching this week's episode with SUNNN. If you would like to support this local band, you can purchase their recent released album on our website or follow the band on social media. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Spotify, or go to website www.bio.to/SUNNN with 3 N's. If you like our interviews, stories, please feel free to also subscribe and follow on our YouTube channel.